I am here with Rusty Rogers, the new head women's basketball coach at Concordia Chicago, as we are getting ready to preview the 2014-2015 season. Rusty, being new to Concordia here in the Concordia community, why don't you tell us a little bit about your coaching background?
Well, this will be my 31st year as a head coach, and it's my first year back at the college level in 14 years. So my first 16 years were at the college level. The next 14 years were at the high school level. So I'm really eager to get back at the college level. Looking forward to the season.
As a coach, looking through your resume, you've seen that you've had quite a bit of travel experience. Just going through the list here, starting in Ohio, Delaware, Oregon, Arizona, Texas, and back to Illinois. Tell us about your travels and how that's influenced your coaching.
Yeah, I've been blessed in my career to be able to be in different regions of the country, and there's a lot of reasons for that, one of which is my wife is in a position where she has been transferred quite a bit. So it's been an opportunity for me to make connections in different parts of the country, different regions, and that's really helped me here in the recruiting at this stage of my career. I've been able to tap into some of those relationships that I've created over the years in different regions of the country. So it's been a blessing.
One of the highlights of the career is a stretch at Western Oregon where you were the back-to-back national champions in 1995 and 96 at the NAIA level. Tell us a little bit about those teams and how that developed.
Well, obviously, every coach in the country that's ever coached any sport, the ultimate is a national championship, and I was fortunate enough to coach two national champions in back-to-back years in 1995 and 1996. And it was a great program at Western Oregon, and it was one of those positions where the program was solid when I got there, and we were able to take it to the top, and it was an unbelievable experience. A lot of the things that I experienced that season from a personnel standpoint, from philosophy standpoint, from just the way to go about coaching, I learned a lot. So it's really helped me in my years after those two seasons as well.
As we move forward to this season here, you've been in camp for about 3 weeks so far. What have you learned about the team?
Well, culture change has really been the focus for me, is just getting the right mentality, and that starts in practice, the way we go about practicing, the effort, the enthusiasm, those types of things. And I've been really pleased with about the 3 weeks that we've been into it. We've progressed at a very rapid rate, so I'm excited about tipping it off this Saturday, and hopefully that'll carry on and will improve as the season goes as well.
With your first home game this Saturday, where you guys are hosting Lawrence, and then you also have the start of a 5-game homestand, what are the things that you're looking for that you want in those first few games?
Well, we're still trying to glean out the roster a little bit to find out who fits in what role. We've had one scrimmage to date. We'll have one more before the tip-off on Saturday, so that's going to help as well. But, players, student-athletes look different in games than they do in practice sometimes, so I'm anxious to see how we are under game conditions, trying to define roles and see what kind of strategies that we've implemented in practice are effective in games. So it's a learning process. I think what you'll see is the team hopefully will improve dramatically, particularly the first half of the season as we settle in on all those things that I mentioned.
Certainly. And with your returning team, it looks like the backcourt could be the strength of the team this year. And you have a lot of experience with Jenke and Stevens coming back.
Yeah, Morgan Jenke, Divinity Stevens bring a lot of playing experience from last year along with them. And then we've got a good group coming in to supplement them in the backcourt. So that is definitely going to be our strength. We're looking at the possibility of playing three backcourt players at a time. Just because we have so much depth in that position and that part of our game. So it's going to definitely be the catalyst for us this year, the backcourt.
Some of those new players, you have Lindblom returning from injury, and then Lofink and Dejan. Tell us about them.
Yeah, Haley Lindblom blew out her knee right before season started last year, so she didn't get to play. She's been a pleasant surprise for me because I didn't see her play prior. So she's going to be in the mix. We have two freshmen that you mentioned, Courtney Lofink and Jayla Dejan. Both are outstanding players. I coached Jayla in high school, so I know a little bit more about Jayla. Courtney's been really, really good. She's from Orange, California. And we have a pair of twins, Taylor and Aaron Jacobson, from the Aurora area here in Illinois, that have been a pleasant surprise as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that shakes out, but I feel comfortable playing any one of those kids in any kind of a situation here at the varsity level.
Moving on to the front court, you have your lone senior in Cassie Kohler, as well as Angelique Young, who both come back with a lot of experience.
Yeah, the big thing with our front court is we got to stay healthy because we don't have a lot of depth. But Cassie Kohler, our only senior, has been a tremendous leader. She's a quiet girl, but she leads by example. In my 31 years of coaching, she's one of the best leaders that I've been around in terms of her work ethic and just the way she goes about her business. So she's a great leader to have. It's a real blessing for me in my first year here to have a girl like her on our roster. And then Angelique Young is a super talent. I keep telling her that we're probably going to go as far as she takes us. That's the kind of player she could be. She's had some injuries in the past, so we're hoping that she'll stay healthy. We're doing every precaution we can to keep her healthy, and that'll be a key to our season, is keeping her healthy and keeping her productive for us.
You have several other returners that have experience in Lauren Orr and Miranda Rogers.
Yeah, Lauren and Miranda have had a really, really good spring preseason. And I see both of them fitting into the mix, no question. They're probably our two best outside shooters on the team. They've got a lot of experience from last season as freshmen. So I expect them to contribute.
You also have some height coming into the fresh court with some of your freshman players. Tell us about them.
We've got a freshman from Ohio named Shania Kaiser, who gives us some strength inside. And then we have a transfer from College Lake County, Marissa Robinson Bannister, who also gives us some size, which is really where we're lacking. So those two need to really be able to come in and contribute right away. The expectation for the transfer Marissa is a little bit greater than for Shania, although Shania has really shown probably the most improvement from our first practice up until this point of anybody on the roster.
One thing I noticed from your history is that in your 30 years, you've been named Coach of the Year 7 different times. When you come into a new program, as you've moved around, what are some of those first things that you look for when you're building a new team?
Well, most definitely the culture and just the attitude of the players. So a couple of the stops that I've had, it's been programs that have been down, and we needed to turn those things around. And then, as I mentioned earlier, in the Western Oregon was a solid program already, and it's just taking it to the next level. So it's really, my big thing is relationships and getting to know the players and getting to know what motivates them. And so that's been my study at this point, is just to make sure that I get to know the players as well as I can as individuals, and then trying to blend that into a team. So it's more, it's not really an X's and O's philosophy. No, probably the priority is relationships and getting to know the players, and that's what I've really been spent a lot of time working with since October 15th here.
And again, Rusty, your first game is going to be this Saturday at 4:30 when we host Lawrence, and then we also have 4 additional home games after that to start the season.
Yeah, it's a really good way for a new program, if you will, a new regime to start up, is to have that home court advantage, and we want to take advantage of that, obviously. Hopefully our comfort level will be better than going on the road, and we can focus on getting better every game before we head out for our first road game. So that worked out really well for us.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much, and good luck on the season.
Thank you.